I'm assuming you can hear me and see me just fine. And if you're not muted, please just mute yourself. It just makes it a little bit easier for other people to hear. All right. Another minute or two. All right, so this morning I'm going to start in hero's pose. So a couple ways that you can do this. Knees together, ankles together, heels lining up right underneath your sitting bones. Sitting up nice and tall, shoulders over hips, belly button drawn in, collarbones wide. And if that doesn't feel good for you, it's too much on your feet or your ankles and you have a bolster or a pillow or something, you're of course welcome to sit up like this. And then of course, you can go in cross-legged seated position or anything in between. No matter where you are in your day today, just spend a moment dropping into the space. So as we wait for the last couple of moments before the class begins, maybe this is an opportunity to let other people in your home know that you are busy for the next hour. You've muted your phone. Maybe you've gone and got yourself a candle, a small blanket. I'm so glad you're here. And if you're just joining me on the recording, my name is Laura. Today's class is a take what you need. I will be leading the flow with options. And I want you to ramp it up or bring it down to the level that feels perfectly designed for you today. This is the practice of gifting ourselves what we need, being self-compassionate, so we can still strive and reach and go for the things that we want in life, but we can do it with our hand on our heart. We can do it in such a way that we're never leaving ourselves behind and we don't betray ourselves. It's a practice. If you're comfortable, go ahead and close your eyes. And if that takes you in a place that doesn't feel comfortable, then just lower your eyelids a bit. Maybe you sit a little taller. Shoulders over top of your hips. Crown reaching a little bit more brightly toward the sky. Collarbones are wide. Shoulder blades sliding down your back body. Palms to your belly, palms to your lap. You're here. Nowhere to go, nothing to do, but be in your practice today. Yourself, start to draw your breath in through your nose, expanding and lengthening the breath a little more than a few moments ago. Coursing the breath deeper into your belly, feeling your belly button soften and rise with your breath. Feel the natural pause, the top of your breath. And then exhale initially through your mouth. Releasing, letting go, dropping in. Noticing the natural pause at the bottom of the breath. And when you feel inspired, receive your breath. Inhaling through your nose, belly filling up, chest rising, pausing. And this time, exhaling through your nose, letting go, releasing, dropping in. 3 more times at your own pace. observing how your breath feels. And notice how your body receives your breath. Not trying to change it, just letting it be. Starting to draw your ujjayi breathing in. Small restriction at the back of your throat. So as your breath courses over the throat, there's an audibleness to the noise of your breath. Like a metronome, your breath guides the movement of your practice, keeps you connected and centered. When you're ready, open your eyes. Welcome to your practice. Adjust if you need to, move around a little bit. And then if you can find that center back, take your hands on either side, palms towards the sky. Draw your shoulder blades back, sit up nice and tall, sternum reaching. The motion before the motion. Take an inhale, draw your arms up. Palms going towards the sky. Hands meeting over top, palms together, exhaling, drawing them all the way down. Interlace your fingers, pull your hands away, take an inhale. Exhale, press your palms away, round through your mid-back, belly button to spine, chin to chest. Feel the back body. And as you receive your breath, wave your arms up. Inhale, arms up. Look up this time. Exhale, hands together, palms through heart center. 2 more times. Interlace the opposite way. Inhale and receive. Exhale, press your palms away. Feel the space into your back body. Inhale, arc your arms up. Pause at the top. Exhale. Hands through heart center. Last time. Interlace, receive, fill up. Exhale, press. Belly button to spine. Inhale, wave up 1 more time. Exhale, hands down through heart center. Bow your chin, left palm to your heart, right hand over top of left. Inhale into your palms, fill up. Exhale through your mouth. Let go. Release your right hand to the outside of your right thigh. Draw your shoulder back. Left arm goes out to the side. Inhale your left arm up. As you exhale, side bend to the right, bend your right elbow. Feel your left sitting bone into your heel and then reach up from the sitting bone to your left fingers. Option to spin your gaze towards your left fingers. Inhale all the way into your left side ribs. Exhale, reach even more. Inhale, left arm goes up, plants on the side. Inhale your right arm. Exhale, side bend to the left. Inhale into the side ribs. As you exhale, reach even further. 2 more times. Inhale all the way up. Right hand down, left arm rises. Exhale, reach to the right hand side. Inhale, left arm goes up. Plants, right hand goes all the way up. Exhale, side bend to the left. Inhale, come back up, all the way back to center. This time, take your left hand and slide it into your back pocket. So you're gonna draw it down behind you. Sit up nice and tall. So peel that left shoulder back. Take your right hand to the outside of your left knee. Inhale, sit up nice and tall. And as you exhale, spin and twist to the left-hand side. Let it be really gentle and easy. Inhale into your belly. Exhale, draw your left rib cage to the left even more. Spin your gaze back to the front of the room. Unwind your twist. Right hand goes into the back pocket. Open your right shoulder to the back body. Left hand goes to the outside of your right knee. Inhale for your length, sit up nice and tall. And as you exhale, open gently to the right-hand side. Inhale, belly fills up. Exhale, twist and look over your right-hand shoulder if it's available to you. Bring your gaze back to center, and this time come forward. So you're going to come onto hands and knees. If you need to, just give the front of your thighs or the front of your top of your feet a little bit of a stretch back and forth. So hands are right underneath your shoulders in tabletop, knees are underneath your hips. Drop your belly, look forward, inhale. As you exhale, press into your hands, lift your belly button to spine, chin to chest. 3 more times. Belly drops, chest draws through. Receive your breath. Exhale, press down, lift up. Inhale. Exhale, press and lift. Inhale, belly drops. Close your eyes if that's what feels good. Exhale. Last time. Belly drops, chest draws through, fill up. Exhale, release all the way down. Sit your hips all the way back down to your heels. And if it feels good, keep your knees together. Come into child's pose. So you can stack your palms and place your forehead on there, or you can draw your forehead to the ground. Hands can go back behind you on either side of your ankles. Inhale into your back body. Exhale, release. This time, come forward, back up to tabletop. Tuck your toes underneath. So you might need to go back and take all 10 toes, even the little ones. Get all 10 toes tucked under, and then walk and spin your hands back. So your fingers are facing your knees. Walk them back a little closer to your knees. So if you're like me, my joints love a nice, slow, romantic warm-up in the morning. Before you start to move, let your belly drop, draw your chest through, look forward. And then as you exhale, sit your hips back. Keep your palms planted to the earth to the best of your ability. Feel the stretch in the toes, in the front of your forearms. Roll your shoulders down, keep them away from your ears. And then inhale, come forward, bend your elbows that awkward way. Straighten your elbows one more time. Keep your palms planted, sit your hips back one more time. Modify it the way you need to. Only do the things that feel okay for your body. And then come forward. Release your hands, release your feet, sit back and just give them a stretch. Just going to spin so you can see me a little bit better. Draw your hands back behind you. Plant your palms on the earth. And then bend your elbows, bring the shoulder heads back behind you, and then lift your shins off the earth. You'll feel a stretch all the way down the front of your body. Contain your chin, draw out of your crown. Feel the stretch all the way down the front of the feet, the front of the shins, and then draw yourself forward one more time. Coming back up into tabletop. Tuck your right toe, and if you need to, place a small cushion or a small towel underneath your right knee and stretch your left leg long. So left foot is in the same line as your right knee, and then draw your right hand out. So one long line all the way. You want to draw your left shoulder on top of your right. Hand is directly underneath the shoulder, just a little bit forward. Inhale your left arm up towards the sky. So find that left foot planting into the earth, right hand planting into the ground. You can use a block underneath your right hand if you'd like to. Reach up towards the sky. Option to spin your gaze up, making sure you're not dropping your head. Feel the strength into your left leg. So straighten the leg, feel the power, draw your hips forward a little bit, and then let that left arm reach back behind you. Let it feel good. No pinching or pain into the shoulder. Spin your gaze all the way down to the ground. And if it feels okay, draw it back up. So it's like your head's on a swivel. And just notice how it feels in your head when you allow your gaze to alter. So it doesn't always have to be in the extreme position. Draw your left hand back over top your shoulder and then reach towards the front of your mat. One long line from the left foot all the way to the left hands. Reach out, find the length, and then take that left hand, draw it down towards the earth. Bring it all the way back towards the left leg, towards the sky, and then forward. Let the left shoulder and ribs follow it. Inhale as you reach up. Exhale as you reach forward, all the way around. 3 more times. Turning up the shoulder. This time, let your left hand float all the way towards the front, and then reach your left arm up, rising up to stand onto your right knee. Inhale your right arm up. Exhale, side bend to your left side. Inhale into the right rib cage. Exhale, reach even further to the left-hand side. Inhale that right arm up, planting it back on the earth. Inhale your left arm, reach over top. Inhale, come back up. Exhale, side bend to the left. Inhale, plant your hand. Exhale, draw your left arm over. 2 more times. Let it be fluid. Let it feel good. Right hand plants. Inhale your left arm. Reach and exhale, and then draw up last time. This time, stay in the reach. So press through the outer left foot, reach with the left hand, peel your body open and look forward. And then draw the left hand forward, keeping your left leg out to the side if you can. Come into a tabletop. Right, so pressing back out to the side like this. Drop your belly, look forward, take a smile, and then exhale, press down, belly button to spine, chin to chest. 3 more times. Inhale, drop down, look forward. Exhale, press and lift. Smaller motion, smaller movement, but find the articulation through your lower back, being so loving and respectful. Inhale, look forward, last time. Exhale, press down, lift up. Release and come to neutral position. This time, draw your left knee in. Press your left hand directly underneath your face. Float your right hand, inhale your right arm up towards the sky. Exhale, bring it all the way through underneath your left arm to a hover. Inhale, sweep up, reach out. Exhale, bring it to a hover. Inhale, press and reach. Exhale, bring it all the way through. This time, plant your right hand down on the ground, settle into the back of your right shoulder. Right ear comes to the mat. Take a moment to lengthen your neck if it feels at all crunched or uncomfortable, and come onto your left fingertips. Press into your left fingertips. Draw your shoulder so that the weight is coming into the back of the right shoulder. Option to bring your left arm towards the sky. Take a deep inhale. Fill up. Exhale, release and stay. Your hands to the sky, plant your left hand back down, come all the way back up into tabletop. Take your knees wide, feet together, draw your hips back, come into a wide-legged child's pose. Take your forehead to stacked palms or all the way to the ground and just give your hips a wiggle. Side to side, just taking a moment. Breathe into your back body. Exhale, let your belly drop towards the earth. This time, inhale, draw yourself forward, coming back into tabletop. 2 cat and cows, drop your belly, inhale, look forward, exhale, press and lift. Maybe you're a little bit more dynamic, moving a little bit more through the hips. After 2 rotations, come back to neutral, and then this time, draw your right foot out to the side, making sure that you're set up into the right posture, and then walk your left hand over. 1 long line from side to side, right foot is fully planted. And when you're ready, inhale your right arm up towards the sky. Press down into your left hand and reach up with your right fingertips. So feel that line, feel the connection of the energy all the way from the outer right toes, outer right foot, drawing up through a straight leg. Let the right arm float behind you as your rib cage opens towards the sky. Take a long inhale. Swivel your gaze down towards your left hand, and then option to swivel it back up towards the sky. Doesn't need to go the whole way. Just notice what you notice. So if you're really honest with yourself as to where your gaze needs to be in your practice. This time, draw your right arm over and then reach it towards the back of your mat. So all the way overhead. Find that long line. Press into the outer right foot, reach forward with your right fingertips. And then exhale, draw that right hand down towards the earth, your shoulder follows, reach back, inhale, all the way over top, forward as you exhale. Inhale, find the space, exhale all the way down. 2 more times, let it go at your speed. Next time you find your right hand over top, reach it forward, and then inhale it up, lift, come up onto your left knee. Right hand goes to the outside of your right thigh. Inhale your left arm up, and then exhale, side bend to the right, all the way towards that right foot. Inhale into your left side body. Exhale, reach even further. Then starting to move, inhale your left arm up, plant it down, draw your right arm up over top and reach. Inhale, press and lift. Exhale, side bend to the right. 2 more times, your speed, your motion. Inhale, reach to the left, all the way up, side bend to the right. Next time you're up, come forward into hands and knees. And if you can, keep that right leg still extending out to the side. Press your sitting bones back, drop your belly, look forward. Feel the stretch into your lower back. Inhale deeply, and then exhale, press into your hands, push from your knee, belly button to spine. 2 more times. Belly drops, gaze lifts. Exhale, press and lift. Inhale, look forward. Exhale, curl in. Come to neutral, draw that right knee back to center. And this time you're going to plant your right hand. So just make sure your knees are hip distance apart. Right hand goes directly, almost in the middle, and then float that left arm towards the sky. Notice how different it feels from side to side. Press into your right hand, lift with your left. And as you exhale, draw that left hand all the way underneath your right to a hover. Inhale, float it up, reach. Exhale, come all the way through to a hover. 2 more times. Press down, reach up. Exhale, come through. Inhale, reach and lift. Exhale, take the left hand through, release it to the ground. Come to sit on, or come to lean on the back of your left shoulder, left ear resting to the mat. Adjust if you need to. Right hand's coming to tented fingertips. So press into that right hand. Maybe you even transfer the weight a little bit further into that left shoulder. Breathe into your side body. Option to draw that right arm towards the sky if it feels okay. Your hand is lifted towards the sky, draw it back to the earth, press into your right hand, come back to tabletop. One last cat and cow, drop your belly, look forward, inhale and receive, and then exhale, press down, knees go wide, toes together, child's pose, all the way back, settle your hips back, draw your forehead towards the earth, 3 breaths. You never have to wait for me to call child's pose. It's available to you all the time. Take it, enjoy it, use it often. It's a beautiful way to modulate your nervous system. And then on your next inhale, come forward. You can turn sideways in your mat if you're reaching the other way. Set your hands up, all 10 fingers far apart. Little fingers reaching towards the outside edge of your mat. Tuck your toes, you know where you're going. Lift your hips, receive your first downward facing dog. Take some time. We're going to stay here for about 5 to 7 breaths. Pedaling out your feet, getting your body used to receiving the weight of your body into your hands. Take a peek forward to the front of your mat, making sure that you're pressing into all 10 fingers. The wrist creases are parallel with the front of the mat. Press into your hands, lift the energy all the way underneath your forearms towards your armpits. Bend your knees enough that the peak of your pose is the back of your sacrum and your sitting bones. Draw your shoulder blades down your back body. Release your right heel towards the mat, bend your left knee. Press into your hands so that you're drawing your weight towards your feet. And then bend your right knee, left heel goes towards the mat. This time, lengthen both legs. Bend your knees so that your chest goes towards your thighs. Bend as much as you can, more than you think. And then tiptoe your body all the way to the front of your mat into a forward fold. So take your feet nice and wide, bend your knees, draw your chest towards your thighs, crown towards the ground. Hands can be on the ground on tented fingers. They can be on your shins. They can be on blocks. We're going to wave into a halfway lift, hands to your shins. Inhale, draw forward. Take your breath. Exhale, release, forward fold. 2 more times. Inhale, Ardha Uttanasana. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, press into your palms, reach forward. Exhale, forward fold. Then we're going to walk our hands as we curl up 1 vertebrae at a time, coming to stand. Feel your spine articulate. Head is the last to rise. And once you're standing, inhale, both arms up towards the sky. Reach up. Exhale, palms together. Release your hands, Tadasana. Palms reaching forward, look down to your feet, hip distance apart. Feeling into all 4 corners of your feet. Lift up through the inner arches. Front of your thighs engage. Tailbone starting to curve down towards your heels. Belly button towards your spine. Collarbone is broad. Close your eyes. This is your mountain pose, your sovereign spot in your practice. Feel the energy that's available to you whenever you stand in you. Lift your arms up. And exhale, forward fold. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, plant your hands, step back to downward facing dog. This time, inhale, float forward to plank. Option to come immediately to your knees. Press into your hands, lift up your shoulder blades. Lift your hips a little higher than you think. Come forward on your toes, engage the front of your thighs. Draw your head away from the earth, making sure it's in alignment with your spine. And then exhale, hip your hips back, downward facing dog. Inhale, float forward, high plank. Release your knees to the mat. Exhale, come all the way back to child's pose. As soon as you get there, inhale, draw forward, shoulders over top of wrists. Drop your hips, draw your belly through. Look forward. Exhale, belly button towards spine. Tuck your toes, downward facing dog. We're going to do that 2 more times. Inhale, float forward to high plank. Exhale, knees down, child's pose. Hips go back. Inhale, shoulders go over top of wrists. Hips drop a bit. Chest comes through. Exhale, lift your hips back, tuck your toes, downward facing dog. Inhale, float forward. Exhale, knees down, child's pose. Hips go back. Inhale, draw forward, shoulders over top of wrists. Option to bring your heels towards your hips. Inhale deeply. Exhale, tuck your toes, lift your hips, downward facing dog. This time, stay with me. Inhale, come forward. Knees down, lie all the way down. So come all the way down onto your belly. Pick your right leg up, plant your right foot to the top of the mat. Hands come back to the sides of your shoulders. Press into your pubic bone, press into your feet. Take an inhale, lift up into a baby cobra. Feel the strength coming from your back body. Hardly any weight at all into your hands. And exhale, release down. 2 more times. Inhale, press down, lift up, baby cobra. This is your extension. Exhale and release. Inhale, press, lift. Extend right from your pelvis to your crown. Exhale, release down. Draw your hands back to your lower ribs. Draw your shoulders away from your ears. Tuck your toes, press into your knees. Come all the way back, lift your hips, downward facing dog. Look forward, walk to the front of your mat into a forward fold. This time, take your feet nice and wide, coming into a rag doll. So bend your knees enough that your chest starts to come towards your thighs. Option to take opposite elbows, releasing your head between your biceps. Breathe into your back body, just giving a little wiggle from side to side. Remembering to bring your breath along with your movement. Breath leads the movement. Release your hands down, press into your feet, lift all the way up. Lift up, reach up and look up. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale to fold, press down, step into your hands, step into your palm, downward facing dog. Inhale, float forward to high plank, knees down, exhale all the way down onto your belly. Coming into your back bend, inhale, look forward. Exhale, release down. Press into your hands, tuck your toes, lift back up to downward facing dog. Inhale your right leg long. So take a moment. Make sure your hands are set up properly. Your pelvis is parallel to your mat. Draw your right heel up with the strength of your right glute. Take a deep inhale, and as you exhale, draw your right knee forward, stepping your right foot to your right hand, releasing your right knee down. Look forward, coming onto tented fingers. Draw your chest through, and then press into your knee, press into your right foot, lift your arms up. Anjalayasana. Exhale, let your weight sink forward into your right knee. So as you go forward into this posture, your hips are parallel to the front edge of your mat. And make sure that as you come forward, that you're not feeling crunching into here. So there's lots of variations of this. It actually has to do with your own body, but this I don't think is a very sustainable practice for a lot of people. So draw your belly button towards your spine, lift out of your pelvis even more. So your Anjalayasana might actually be a lot more upright. And then work on bringing that right thigh back, left hip forward. And then inhaling your arms up, respecting every part of your body in your practice. Inhale, press down and lift. Broadening through your chest. Releasing your right hand to the back of your left thigh. Drawing your left arm towards the sky. Take an inhale. And as you exhale, lean back ever so slightly, drawing your chest towards the sky. Inhale your right arm up. Exhale, bring both hands inside of your right thigh. Heel toe your right foot to the outside of your mat. You can even draw your right toes out on a 45-degree angle. Option to untuck the back leg. Look forward, and as you exhale, release your hips towards the mat. When you're in lizard, you will feel the opening all the way down on this left thigh. If you feel any pinching into your right hip, you can draw your right toes out even further. The right shoulder's in contact with the inner right knee. Whatever your right arm is doing, your left arm is doing. So option to stay right here, symmetrical in your hands, or releasing your hands down, your forearms down to the block or the earth. Keep drawing your chest through, lifting your head so that you're not creating undue pressure on your neck. Wiggle from side to side if that's what's comfortable. If you're on your forearms, press back up to your hands, remove your blocks to the side. Plant your left hand underneath your left shoulder. Bring your right hand to the inside of your right knee, and then let that right leg open up onto the outer edge of your right toes. Open your right shoulder on top of your left, keeping your hips sinking forward. Right hand gently pressing away from the right knee. Take a deep inhale. Long exhale. Release your right hand. Heel toe your right toes in. Press your hand down on either side. Tuck your toes. Lift your hips. Come back to downward facing dog. Inhale, float forward to high plank. Exhale, knees down, child's pose. Like we did before, hips goes back. Inhale, float forward, shoulders over top of your wrists. Possibly bring your heels to your hips. Look forward. Exhale, tuck your toes, lift your hips, downward facing dog. If you do not prefer that flow, you can always inhale and come forward. Exhale, release all the way down onto your belly. Inhale to your back bend. Exhale, release down. Press into your hands, press into your knees, lift your hips, downward facing dog. You take what you need. Totally your practice. When you're ready, inhale your left leg long. Come high on your right toes, press through the left heel, find the length. Sink your right heel to the ground, lift your left leg even higher. Inhale, exhale, bring your left knee through, plant to your left hand, release your right knee to the mat. Come to tented fingers, sink your hips, look forward. And when you're ready, press down and lift up. Anjalayasana again. So just walking your body back through this. It's different from side to side. I prefer my right toes tucked. It just helps my knee, but you may feel better with them untucked. Both are good. Inhale, press down, lift up. Checking in with your low back. As you exhale, sink forward, however amount it feels good. Still drawing from your lower belly, reaching up right through your fingertips. And then release that left hand to the back of the right thigh. Right arm goes high. Inhale into your chest. As you exhale, lift your sternum to the sky. Extend back any amount. Inhale, left arm up. Exhale, both hands plant inside that left leg. Heel toe the left foot out to the side. Option to take the 45 degree with the toes. Untuck that back right foot. Plant your hands underneath your shoulders, look forward, give it a smile, sink your hips down. This is first stage. You can stay right here. Or you might opt to come down onto both your forearms on a block or all the way to the earth. I like to give it a little wiggle from side to side. Breathe into your pelvis when you do this. And just play with what intensity you want to have your practice at. It's fun sometimes to be on the edge of your practice. And it's sometimes nice to be really in the middle of your practice. So just being so gentle and caring and exploratory and maybe a bit curious. Come back up into your hands if you're down on your forearms. Plant your right hand underneath your right shoulder. Let this left foot open up onto the outer knife edge side. Left hand comes to the inside of that left knee. Peel your left shoulder on top of your right, letting that left foot open up to the side. So you take this as far as you want. Maybe you give it a wiggle from side to side. Release that left hand, heel toe the left foot in, press into your hands, lift your hips, and come all the way back to downward facing dog. This time you're going to take whatever flow you prefer. Inhale, come forward to high plank. Exhale, back into your knees, child's pose. Inhale, float forward, shoulders to wrists, heels to hips. No pressure into your lower back. Exhale, hips go back, tuck your toes, downward facing dog. 5 breaths. Option to come into child's pose. If you're staying in your downward facing dog, see if you can shorten your stride just a little bit. Continuing to press with your hands so your hips are lifting, the peak of your pose being your sitting bones. Drawing your belly button towards your spine. If you're in child's pose, come back to downward facing dog. When you're ready, inhale your right leg behind you. Stack your right hip on top of your left. Bend your right knee. Draw the right knee towards the sky. Inhale, come high on your left toes. Keeping your knee lifting towards the sky. As you exhale, sink that left heel down, keeping your right knee lifted. Inhale your right leg long. Exhale, right foot through to right hand. Coming into warrior 2. So back leg down on the 90-degree. Right heel in alignment with your left arch. Press into your feet, lift up. Opening your hips to the side of your mat. Arms go long. Right arm reaching towards the front of your mat. Releasing your shoulders down your back body. Gaze floats over your right fingertips. Settle your breath. Just checking in. So feeling the strength and the length of your left leg. Bending into the right knee. Right thigh is spiraling out to the outside. So that right knee is tracking with your second and third toe on your right foot. Shoulder blades down your back body. And your shoulders over top of your hips. This is your warrior 2. Virabhadrasana 2. Left arm goes down your back body. Flip your right palm. Inhale, reverse your warrior. Reach up towards the sky. Bending to the left one more time. And then inhale to warrior 2. Exhale, extended side angle. So right elbow can go to your right knee. Inhale your left arm all the way over towards the front of your mat. Option for that right hand to go all the way down on the outside of your right leg to a block or to the earth. We've been here before. Press into that left leg. Reach with your left hand. Open your shoulders. Very gentle pressure into your right knee. Doing amazing. Inhale, stay in your legs, come back to warrior two, and then lengthen and straighten your right leg. Let your left hip go back as you reach forward with your right fingertips, and then float the right hand down to your shin or all the way to your ankle, where my favorite is to a block. Block on the outside of your foot. Press into your hand and then open your left shoulder on top of your right. Stay wherever you want to. Wherever you are, you're creating the length on the right side as much as you are on the left. So instead of being crunched down like this, see if you can expand out, which is why sometimes the block is really nice. And if it's available to you, reach the left arm towards the sky. Find your gaze, find what works for you. Take a deep inhale. Doing amazing. Then as you exhale, bring your left hand all the way down on the outside of your foot. Spin and release your left heel. So you're in the lunge. Press into your hands and lift all the way back to downward facing dog. Take your flow, coming all the way forward, all the way down and into your back bend, or inhale with me forward to your high plank. Exhale, knees down, child's pose. Inhale, float forward, shoulders over top of wrists, heels come towards your hips. Exhale, tuck your toes, lift your hips, downward facing dog. Meeting in downward facing dog, just take a moment to regather yourself. And then inhale your left leg. Left hip goes over top of the right, opening, bend your knee, draw your left knee towards the sky. And then just take a peek down and make sure you're centering your weight on both your hands. Inhale, go high on your right foot, draw your left knee towards the sky even more. And then exhale, right heel descends towards the earth, left knee stays high. Inhale your left leg long, exhale, come all the way forward. Plant your left foot, come into Virabhadrasana, two on the other side. So I'm just gonna flip. So take a moment to set up your feet. Find that nice long length of your warrior two. When you're ready, hips opening to the front of your mat. Inhale your arms long. Left leg, left thigh is spiraling outwards. Your knee is in alignment with your second and third toe. Release your shoulders down your back body. All 10 fingers are bright. Release your breath. Calm into the strength of your legs, the power that you're pulling from the earth all the way through you. Release your right hand to the back of your thigh. Flip your left palm, reverse your warrior. Inhale high, and then exhale, reach back with the left hand, lifting your chest towards the sky. Inhale, warrior two. Exhale, extended side angle. Left elbow to left thigh or all the way down to the ground, and then inhale your right arm all the way up and over top your head. Reaching forward. Imagining that long line from the outer right foot all the way to the fingertips. Baby finger spins down towards you. Draw your shoulder away from your ear, and then spin your gaze underneath your right arm. Only if that's what's comfortable. Stay in your legs. Inhale, come back to warrior two. And then this time we're going to straighten the left leg. Draw your right hip back behind you, reaching forward with your left fingertips, coming into triangle. Left hand reaches down to your shin or all the way down to the ground, maybe to a block. Press into your left hand, reach up with your right. Both legs are straight, long through both sides of your side body. Doing amazing. Last breath, take an inhale. As you exhale, draw that right hand down, bend into your left knee, release your right heel, coming into the long lunge. Press into your hands, lift yourself back to downward facing dog. Bend your knees, come all the way down into your child's pose. Doing amazing. Knees wide, feet together. 5 breaths. And draw yourself forward. You're going to go ahead and sink back, coming into a wide-legged forward fold. So just let yourself transition. Take a moment. Set yourself up. Take your feet wide. Feet nice and wide. Drawing your toes towards your shins. So if immediately you go into this posture and you feel like a turtle, know that you have some options. One, just go ahead and take the flesh away from your sitting bones. You can roll up a small cushion to place underneath your pelvis. So if you do it on the very edge of your sitting bones, it'll help you draw your hips forward. The point of the pose, I mean, maybe in a yogic world, you're going to go ahead and draw your chest all the way to the ground, but it's actually finding both parts of it. So in every stretch, there is an engagement and there's a release. So we never really want to splay out into any of our postures. We want to hold the tone of our body while we create the expansion. It's kind of like life. So if you need to, you can bend your knees, right? So the minute you bend your knees, you'll feel that you can create some room through your pelvis. This is a perfectly great forward fold. You can take your hands behind you, inhale nice and long. So take your elbow heads behind you and then draw your chest forward. And with your knees bent, you may even be able to find that you can take your hands forward. And with time, you can slowly allow your legs to straighten. Draw your toes towards you. Wherever you are, inhale nice and long. And then exhale, draw your chest forward. We're going to stay here for quite a few breaths, so feel free to romance it. Stay with your breath, stay with your practice. I find that the expansion and the stretching part of yoga is the place where I can practice being in some level of stillness. Stillness is never actually fully still. There is always the vibration of the energy of your body. Your cells are oscillating. Your breath is moving through you. So it's even tuning into that. Take in 2 more deep breaths. See if you can draw out of your pelvis a little more. Maybe that means you come up out of the stretch a bit. This time, walk your hands back up. Take your hands underneath the back of your thighs and draw them up. Take the soles of your feet together. Come into a bound angle. There's lots of ways you can do this. I'm going to encourage us this time to bring your heels away a bit. So it's like you're almost more like a diamond shape. Soles of your feet are together, engaging your feet so that you can hold on to your ankles and sit up nice and tall. Use the strength of your own muscular body to butterfly your thighs open. And you'll notice they're a little different from one side to the other. My right hip is not as open. Just let your body experiment with that a bit. Then draw your hands back to your feet. Inhale nice and tall. And then exhale, bend your elbows, draw your chest forward, continuing to open your thighs to the side. But find the length from your sitting bone to your crown. Make that be the peak of your pose. And if it's available to you, you can sink all the way down, or you can actually walk your hands underneath your shins. Taking hold of your feet, drawing your crown towards your feet, Chest goes towards the earth. I'm going to stay here for a few breaths. Challenge of your practice is to make it a new practice every time you're there. Trying to resist the urge to fall back into the same way, the same pattern, the same thought, the same resistance. New perceptions, new curiosity. Wherever you are, starting to unwind the pose. Drawing back. Maybe you take your feet out nice and wide. Hands behind you. Just let your knees flop from side to side, side to side. This time you're going to spin around on the long edge of your mat. Plant your feet. So plant your feet hip distance apart. Hands go to the front of your shins. Sit up nice and tall. Look forward. And if it's available to you, now you're going to release your arms on either side. So maintain that height, maintain the abdominal engagement. Now you're going to round out your belly. So you're going to scoop your belly by not just coming back, but letting your hips fall back, coming back to a 45, or maybe it's a 35, hands reaching out. You're still engaging all the way through the abdomen. See if you can get your collarbone wide. Feet are planted on the earth in a perfect world. We're going to hold for 5 breaths for a count of 5. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. And then we're going to release down for a count of 5. See if you can keep your feet planted for 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Release all the way down and then draw both knees into your chest. Both knees come into your chest. Hands wrap around the front of your thighs. Give it a rock from side to side. Keeping your knees wide, breathe into the space between your knees. Belly rises, shoulder blades and neck are on the earth. And then plant both feet down. Coming into a figure 4, right ankle goes on top of the left thigh. Option to stay right here with your right hand gently opening your right knee, or to reach back, interlace your hands in the back of your left thigh. As you exhale, bend your elbows, draw that left knee towards your chest. Both feet are engaged, toes are reaching towards the shins. Broad through your collarbones, face is relaxed. Take a deep inhale. Exhale, bend your elbows. Left knee goes even closer towards your chest. Feel the stretch down the right thigh, into the right hip. Be gentle and loving. Release the left foot down to the earth. Unwind the pose. And then switch sides. Left ankle on top of right thigh. Stay right here. Or go ahead and interlace your hands behind the right thigh. Flex your feet. Take an inhale. Fill up. As you exhale, bend your elbows. Draw that right thigh in towards your chest. Soften your face. Maybe you close your eyes. Expand as you inhale. Draw in as you drop in and exhale. The pose, right foot goes back down to the ground. Plant both your feet, just draw your hips a little bit to the right, and then draw both knees over to the left-hand side. Stacking your right thigh and knee on top of your left. And then draw your right arm out to the side, coming into a supine twist. Left hand can go to your left knees. Gaze can go over top of your right shoulder. Finding the balance and the openness from your right shoulder to your right hip. Just feel how grateful your body is. Just feel what comes up. Drawing your knees back into your chest. Plant your feet, draw your hips over to the left, and then both knees over to the right-hand side. Left arm goes long. Find the expansion. Find the softness. Instead of moving anywhere, you're just going to draw your left arm back. Curl your left arm underneath. So you're going to come in a side lie, drawing your knees up towards your chest, resting your head on your right bicep. Hug your knees nice and close. Close your eyes. And to stay right here. Nowhere to go, nowhere to move. If you'd like to close your practice with me, keep your eyes closed, press into your left hand, and find your way to a cross-legged and seated position. Just your hands in your lap. Keep your eyes closed if it's comfortable. Stay in the stillness. I invite you to just observe the tone, the talk, the vibration. Maybe there's calmness. Do you feel? How do you feel? Bring your hands on either side of your body, palms up, just like we started. And as you inhale, draw your arms up, feeling your palms reaching in and holding on to the energy that's available. Arms rise, chest lifts, maybe your gaze comes up over top of your head. Palms come together. As you exhale, bring your hands to your heart center, hands to your chest, thumbs to your sternum. Bow your head. Take a deep breath into your chest. Feel your hands lift. As you exhale, so much gratitude. Thank you so much for being in your practice with me. I'm so grateful you're here. Namaste. Thank you, everyone. You're so welcome. You are so very welcome. I'm grateful you're here. You will receive this in replay. So nice to see so many familiar names and some faces. And if you're here in replay, you matter just as much. All right. Thanks, everyone. Mwah. Create yourself a great day, okay? You're welcome. You are so welcome.